Hi. So this one's me. So the question is, how did I get involved in role-playing and LARPing? So there was this guy my age who was next door to us. When my grandparents died, they left this little cottage by the lake that all of my aunts and uncles sort of jointly owned and took care of. And so we would all cram like a bajillion people to a room, but it meant we got to go up north and go to the lake and hang out with our cousins and stuff over the holidays. It was kind of amazing. I'm super privileged to have had that experience. And the kid who lived next door, Jonathan from Livonia, whose last name I no longer remember, but whatevs. He had this huge suitcase full of D&D books that his brother had given him. And it was basically like, hey, you wanna? And there was just something about it that was just freaking instantly appealing. Like day fucking one, very first delving into the player's guide. I'd always been a bit of a writer. I'd always been a video gamer. And the idea of writing my own game essentially was just so appealing. And so after that, when I got home, we had CompuServe 76216.3306 at CompuServe.com. Shout out to the Writers Guild and the RPG forums and the chat rooms there, I guess. So I got into the role-playing game chat rooms there. And it was great. There were a million different games going on. I got to play Paranoia. I got to play a ton of crap. But the important thing was I found out about Vampire the Masquerade. And having always been a massive fan of horror, especially psychological horror, not creepy horror, I instantly just glommed right the hell onto it, you know? Like, Lost Boys was one of my favorite movies, and when my mom would check out Stephen King and Dean Koontz books from the library, she'd hand them right over to me. Yeah, it was everything I wanted it to be. So I ordered one of the books just to have it. In fact, if I remember right, I was absolutely shocked to discover that these things existed in one of the local bookstores. I want to say it was Barnes & Noble. And that they had a gaming section and that they carried Vampire the Masquerade. So I played it online for a long time, a year or two. And then I brought that book with me to school one day. I think I was writing some character background or another, and I wanted to be able to reference, I don't know, the history of the Setites, something ridiculous. And someone in one of my math classes, Kristen, saw it, and she said, hey, I love those too. I'm thinking of storytelling a tabletop game. Would you be in? And it's like, yeah, fuck yes, hell yes, I am super in. So her and me and Aaron, who were kind of a fearsome threesome for a long time in high school, and a couple other folks. I don't remember who was part of that first game, because it was really me, Aaron, and Kristen that ended up the crew. But yeah, we had a good time playing Vampire the Masquerade. And then a couple weeks later, Kristen says, so have you heard about live action role playing? And I had. Finally, it had trickled its way to me, and I had said, I heard about this Mind's Eye Theater thing that White Wolf had out and how cool I thought it was. And she said, well, there's a game in Bay City. And she said, it's actually not that far from you guys. It's at the trailer park, and, we could go. And Steve's pretty cool. If you email him or get on AIM and talk to him, he'll help you make a character before you show up. So I made a Brujah, borderline anarch, and I went and I played, and I had a tremendous time. In fact, I got in crap ton of trouble, in character trouble. And at one point, I still have this memory of storming into Elysium and just chucking my backpack into the corner just so hard and slamming myself onto a couch. And one of the people there kind of said, oh, your character die already? And I said, no, this is in character. I'm cool. It's in character. I don't know. It was pretty funny. I just remember them assuming that I was pissed off because my character was toast, and it was really just I was acting. It was one of those moments when I knew I would really, really love what it was, because I could affect someone enough to knock them out of character. That felt pretty awesome. So actually, it will be my 20th LARP anniversary coming up in October. And fortunately, I got a bunch of fun gaming stuff coming up. But I think I will probably big time celebrate my 20th anniversary of gaming in November or December at a couple of big events that I've got coming up with people. So that's how I got my start in LARP. And the people I met at the Bay City game, which eventually became the Delta game, decided to go to Gen Con one year. And so that's how I got into those kind of games. And from Gen Con, when I moved to Chicago, I had the tools to find a new LARP group here. And also from Gen Con, I met people like Ian, who there was a whole nother crew. Like there was 3 or 4 crews of people in Chicago that I met, like right after I came to Chicago. And it really helped me settle into the city. It really, really did. I think that's one of the things that I like about LARP so much, is that just about anywhere that I want to move, just about any place that I want to be, to live, it's generally going to have some gamer nerds there. And the LARP crews tend to be the most interesting, egalitarian, worthwhile people out there. So, yay. Yay LARP. Yay everything. So yeah, I think I've over-answered your question at this point, but whatevs. These have been fun. I hope you enjoyed.